Ready. Good morning. I'm Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach, and I want to welcome you to our Commissioners Board meeting for February the 12th. We're obviously in person, and we are also broadcasting via Microsoft Teams Town Hall and BCTV. If you wonder why the Phillies jacket, catchers, and pitchers have already reported to spring training. So maybe last week you weren't happy to hear about our groundhog predictions, but I'll tell you what, the Phillies are in Clearwater and they're getting ready for baseball. So that's good news. At this time, we'll call the meeting to order. We'll begin with a moment of silence, followed by a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to recognize my executive assistant, Veronica Lepore, to read the public comment notice.
Good morning. Thank you. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Thank you very much. And just a reminder, if you are in person and you would like to speak, there's a sign-up sheet right as you came into the lobby area. Please sign up. We'll check that again before we get to the closing public comments. We have no public comments in person on agenda items, and I do not see anything online regarding specific agenda items. Again, general public comment will be at the end. This is the meeting that we will be giving as commissioners our goals and objectives for 2026. And so we are going to begin with Commissioner Rivera. After Commissioner Rivera completes his goals and objectives, we'll go to Commissioner Santoni, and then I will wrap it up. I guess I should approve the minutes. I jumped over that. It's been a long couple weeks here. Are there any additions or corrections for the February 5th, 2026 meeting minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. We did have an executive session February the 11th dealing with personnel and litigation. With that, we'll turn the meeting over to Commissioner Michael Rivera.
Thank you, Commissioner Leinbach. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, there we go.
Got it.
I'm going to have to toggle back and forth between my screen and my notes. So just bear with me here a moment. Okay. All right, have it there. So good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be discussing what our 2025 goals were and what we accomplished there, as well then as the 2026 goals. I do want to mention that for the 2025 goals, it will be simply, sorry, I need to see how then I can move. We have to share another screen.
Not up.
Not up.
You stopped.
Share. here.
It's up.
I don't think I can't change the slides here.
Click down on the bottom.
Hmm.
Click on your PowerPoint so that you're on PowerPoint. And now click it.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so we want to discuss what we've accomplished in 2025 as well, what my goals and objectives are for 2026. So what you'll see for 2025 is just a small number of things that we have accomplished. I will be putting together a PDF with more information on it, but because of the time today, we've limited ourselves to about 15 minutes per person. So I'm just going to touch on a small amount of items. It in no way reflects what we've accomplished throughout the year. Sorry, just having. Okay, so I want to talk about that, but I do want to say that we've had a good year. We've accomplished many things. Did we accomplish everything that I set out to? No, but I believe overall it was a good year. There was a lot of things that were accomplished and a lot of things that were learned as well. And everything that we accomplished was due to the team effort. We have about 2,100 employees. We have our leadership team here. We have our row officers. We have our executive assistants here as well. And everything that I was able to accomplish was thanks to the team effort that we have here at the County of Berks. So I just want to take a moment to recognize the efforts of my colleagues here, our executive assistants. Mine, Barbara Lopez, is not here with us today, but all that we've accomplished, we cannot do on our own. It's more of a team effort to be able to get done what we have accomplished. Also want to thank the COO team who is here as well together, Kevin, Larry, Britt, Jesse as well, our solicitor, Christine and Cody, HR, Chief Human Relations Officer, Jess Weeknick as well. And please forgive me if you're part of the rest of our team. If I didn't mention you, it's not because you're not important, just can't mention everyone. So, but to all the team, thank you for the work that you do. So looking at 2025, again, sorry, I have to, can I toggle? No, I have to go back to.
Got to get on your show.
Get on the show.
Down here. Yeah, you're out of your slideshow. So you.
What show? No. All right. Well, I guess I'll just have to go without the slideshow then. So my priorities for 2025 were fiscal responsibility, county governance, economic development, election integrity, and the youth and detention shelter. So let's first talk about fiscal responsibility. And under fiscal responsibility, one of the items was keep Berks fiscally sound. Fiscal responsibility is and will continue to be job number one. It has been since I took office 7 years ago, and it will continue to be one of my primary objectives and focuses. When you talk about fiscal responsibility, many times people think, well, fiscal responsibility is keeping the line and not increasing taxes. For me, that is not fiscal responsibility. Fiscal responsibility for me is being able to maintain a strong financial position for the county in the long run. And that at times may mean having to have tax increases, just like everyone here. Your utilities go up, your groceries go up, you like to receive your increases in salaries. And at home, you have everything increases, and therefore you need more revenue to be able to continue to pay for that. Same thing here at the county. Our costs increase, personnel costs, health insurance costs, utilities costs, just operations costs overall increase, and therefore the county needs to increase its revenue to be able to sustain the budget. And really the main way the county does that is through property taxes. So that's one reason that we have to increase property taxes, but we try to keep it at under what inflation has been, and we have been able to do that for the last 14 or 15 years. We'll continue to work on being fiscally responsible. In 2025, we had a budget diet, which we asked department heads to voluntarily look at their operating budget and see what they could cut. We didn't tell them what to do. This came at a savings of $523,000 in 25 and almost $1.4 million for the 2026 budget. The other area under fiscal responsibility was savings and efficiency team, which is a continued focus on how we can be more efficient, save money, and take time off of what we do and just be more efficient overall in the county. That we worked real well at that. Looking at my time here, so I'm not sure, I won't have much time to talk about what we did, but we had small items, we had large items. For example, some of the small items was we got and are getting rid of unused cell phones, cable TV in offices, printing some things in-house that were printed outside, getting rid of some of the paper newspapers that we received if they weren't using them or they weren't necessary for what the department did. So the larger items was at the jail, they downsized the vehicles that needed to be replaced. Rather than getting the larger vehicles they had, they said, we know what we can do with smaller vehicles, which are cheaper to acquire and cheaper to maintain as well, but will still meet the needs. Another item was 3 departments came together and said, we use boom lifts on a regular basis. We rent them out. Can we find one that we can buy and all 3 use? And that's what they did. So that would pay for itself in 2 to 3 years. And then after that, there's no cost to have that boom lift. We're also reviewing accounts payable processes and looking at vendor accounts to see how we can unify them to maximize discounts. So there's a lot of things that we do on the SET team, and that's something I want to continue to focus on as well. Under county governance, they had senior staff development, succession planning, staff training and development, and the space allocation study. Big focus as well. We had different sessions for senior staff development. We have worked on succession planning. As of now, there's only less than a handful of departments that do not have a deputy, but the COO team met with each department last year to discuss their strategy for succession planning. And this year we will focus on making sure that every department has a deputy in their department to ensure succession planning, or if the department head is out on vacation, something happens to them, we have someone who can run the department there. Another area was economic development, and we have members of the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance here, Aaron and Alex, who are here. So thank you for being here, listening to our reports today. They have been a great partner with the county in the economic development here in the county. One of the things we have focused on for the last 3 years has been the Imagine Berks Economic Development Plan, which is now the Imagine Berks Comprehensive Plan, to keep on focusing on what the Imagine Berks Plan was. Also in that, we've been supporting the Main Street programs throughout the county. We also did an ag study, which shows that ag in Berks County supports the local economy by $1 billion, and that's with a B, $1 billion. So ag is very important to our economy here in Berks County. The other thing we focused on was the airport. I'm sure Commissioner Leinbach will speak more about that in his part. Then we also have housing, which is a huge issue not only here in Berks County, but throughout the nation as well. We held a forum in October, and we have been gathering information, having continued conversation with housing partners such as the Reading Berks Association of Realtors, the housing authorities, the Berks County Redevelopment Authority, the City of Reading, and others. And we're putting a plan together which will continue in 2026. The fourth area was election integrity. The elections ran smoothly in 2025. Our goal is to continue to do that in 2026. After both the primary and the general elections in 2025, I met with the elections department and with other county departments that are involved in the running of the elections. And we always had an after action report, what went well, what didn't go well, what do we need to improve upon. We've also had people that work at the polls come into the elections board meetings after elections and provide input on what things can improve with. So I want to thank them, and we do take that information and we do pass it on and make sure that that is implemented in our trainings and in other things that we do around elections. And the last part is the youth shelter and the detention shelter. Youth shelter is open. We don't have the amount of kids that we thought we would have there, but we are working on that to continue to make sure that we're using it to its maximum capacity, because there's a huge need out there for that. With the detention center, we are also expecting to get money from the state. The state said if you do it in collaboration regionally, we will provide funding for that. We have 3 regional partners, which are Dauphin, Lehigh, Lackawanna counties, but we are still waiting on the support from the state, and hopefully they will come through with their commitment. If not, we're working on other arrangements to get that moving forward. So that ends my 2025 report. Now looking down into 2026, my priorities in 2026 are similar to what they were in 2025, and that is because I believe these are core priorities, and we need to continue working on them year after year, because they are not a once and done. There's something that the county needs to work on year after year. So first one is, again, fiscal responsibility. That will continue to be job number 1. I spoke about that earlier, so I'm not going to really focus on it again, but the goal again this year is to maintain the top bond rating of Moody's AAA+. Something I did do differently this year is I separated the savings and efficiency team from fiscal responsibility. And that is because the savings and efficiency team has been growing and evolving, and it's just doesn't just have to do with saving money. There's a lot of other things that the savings and efficiency touches on. We want to make sure that we are having a continuous improvement mindset throughout the county. So we're not just pushing how can we save money, but right now we're working on pushing how and focusing on how we can focus on that continuous improvement mindset in everything we do, from the person that does the cleaning, from the people that do the clerical work, to the department heads, to the supervisors, everyone at all levels at the county. How can we always have an improvement mindset as to what can be done better? How can we cut down steps? How can we save money? How can we try to reduce errors in what we are doing? So that's something I took out, and there are 3 areas there that I want to focus on. Is 1, cultivating a shared commitment to continuous improvement at all levels, as I mentioned. The other is embed artificial intelligence into business operations in 3 key areas to be able to do that. 1 is proper policies and guide rails. 2nd is training and education to make the most of it. Just as anything with the computer, junk in, junk out. So we want to make sure that people are trained in how to use it properly to get the best out of it. And also offering departments use cases and best practices so they can understand how to best, what other counties are doing and how to best make use of that. And also the 3rd thing is to include other department heads at the meetings as well to get their input. The other area is county governance. Area 1 is succession planning. The goal is to have all departments with deputies in 2026 and provide training for these deputies to be able to run the department in case of an emergency, vacation, or other reason that the department head may not be there, and for them to be able then to possibly take over the department once the department head retires. Also under that, we want to continue the staff training that we've had together with the space implementation of the space allocation study. The area of economic development, continue focus on the Imagine Berks comprehensive plan, and a continued focus on housing, which I already spoke about as well. And item number 5 is election integrity. We want to continue developing our staff, which will lead to the restoration and the continued voter confidence in the Office of Election Services. The Election Services has done a great job, and they will continue to do that. We'll also continue to work with the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania, the Governor, and the General Assembly on much needed election reform. And we will continue to improve our processes on over-the-counter voting with established election preparation work, improve processes at polls on election day by updating and enhancing poll worker trainings, which we have been doing. And we will continue to fine-tune the mail-in ballot processing on election day. So at that, my time has ended. I would like to give another huge thank you for our staff for the amazing work that they do here at the county. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rivera. We'll move now to Commissioner Dante Santoni.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to be very general in my priorities and my focuses. I'm going to talk about, I had three priorities, added one based on recent events. So I'm going to go through those priorities fairly quickly. And then I have a couple slides at the end where I just want to talk about general issues. Commissioner Rivera has mentioned some. I'll be very brief, but I think that are important for me to say that, things that I think are important that the county needs to do, and the things that I would be happy to support while they're focuses of my colleagues. So let's get started. See if I can figure this out. Here we go. My first priority is a Healthy Berks Coalition and Advisory Committee, and this is directly related to the study that was done. Now it's 3 years old now, I guess. 2023. Before I was a commissioner, the board commissioned a report that was done by the Berks County Medical Society and Berks County Community Foundation to look at what the health needs are of our county. They came up with a number of recommendations, and one of them was the Healthy Berks Committee, a coalition and advisory committee that's going to establish, as it says, clear and transparent goals with regards to the health needs of our community. We're in the very, very start of that. We've worked with Jennifer Kolker, who is a professor at the Drexel University School of Medicine. She's been doing a lot of work in this. She has a master's in public health and has been doing a lot of work in this area. And she's going to be doing our request for proposal and working with our community leaders, our not-for-profits, our hospitals, our schools, to come up with ideas that we can put forth with regards to the health needs of our community. I think a lot of this discussion came out of the pandemic and what came out of there, and hopefully we never have to deal with another pandemic, but there are some concerns about the health community and what's needed. Of course, we're going to engage our medical community hospitals and provide those resources to those community members, including our schools. So that is my first focus. The second one is a fun one. This will just be for 2026, and I don't know if there's any soccer fans out there, but FIFA is coming. World Cup is coming to the Americas in 2026. There are 11 sites in the U.S., a couple sites in Canada, and 3 in Mexico. We're not specifically a site, but there are 3 on the East Coast, one of them being Philadelphia, and we have been working with FIFA Philadelphia 2026 to try to coordinate some things. Working with our tourism group, there are going to be games in Philadelphia, and when soccer games are played, there is a couple days in between, so we're going to try to hopefully get some people to come visit us. But also, we're in the running, and hasn't been officially announced yet, to be designated a fan zone. And what that means is we'll be able to have parties and work in conjunction with FIFA Philadelphia, be recognized to provide materials, official FIFA 2026 materials. You're probably wondering, why is the county commissioner focusing on this? I think it's a really important economic development tool. Or as I said, I sit on the tourism board, and I think it's really important that we can benefit from having all of these people coming from all over the world into our community. Soccer might not be the #1 sport in the U.S., but it's the #1 sport in the world. 300 people watch the Super Bowl. 1 billion people watch the World Cup final. So it's a worldwide phenomenon, and hopefully lots of people will come here and we'll get some benefit. But we're also going to have the benefit of getting some resources from FIFA, providing tools for having youth soccer matches, youth soccer tournaments, and things like that. So it's a real opportunity for us. Stay tuned. Hopefully by the end of this month, early next month, we'll hear the news about getting that fan zone designation, which is really, really important. The games run from June 11th to July the 19th. Philly's required to have so many games. I think it's 4. And again, we're going to try to benefit from having it so close to us here in Reading and Berks County. The third priority that I want to talk about briefly is more general, more long-term, if you will, the housing crisis that is occurring in our communities. There's lots of things happening. There was a presentation, Berks Coalition to End Homelessness is having a strategic plan released next Thursday, just the time we're having our commissioners meeting. So there's going to be some details about homelessness in our community. But there's a lot of other activities that are occurring at the federal and state level in a bipartisan manner. And I think that's really, really important. Housing and homelessness are important economic development tools and just quality of life issues that we need to address. And I want to make sure that local governments are engaged with our federal and state partners in not just the legislation that looks like it's coming down, but in funding opportunities. And I think homelessness is a real concern for many of us here. I want to make that a focus of mine moving forward in 2026, specifically in the area of homeless veterans. I know that our Veterans Office is really engaged in that. And I thought it was really important to make that a priority for 2026 for myself and for the county. This is the one I added. You might have heard about this facility that is going up in Upper Burn Township, the ICE facility. We had a pretty raucous and exciting, and I thought it was a good town hall meeting last night up in Bethel and Upper Bethel, what is it?
It was
The library is Bethel
Tulpehocken
Tulpehocken
Library in Bethel
in
Township.
Bethel Township.
It's okay.
Very close to where the facility could be going in. And we told them the truth. We look forward to getting more information. That's what we're looking for, information, transparency, working with our federal and state partners and getting as much information as we can. There's a lot of unknowns. The effect that it's going to have, not just on the Upper Burn Township, small little community we had a lot of people last night from that community that are really concerned. But overall, the issue that affects Berks County, it's a national issue, of course, but we want to make sure we get as much information and provide as much information as we can to our residents. So that is going to be a focus of mine moving forward. The last couple of slides that I'm going to zip through are other county issues that I talked about that I think are important. I don't want to say they're not a priority. They are. Commissioner Rivera has spoken about a couple, and I'm sure that Commissioner Leinbach will as well when he gives his presentation. We did pass a no tax increase budget, which we think is important. I want to commend our agency heads and our leadership team on the budget diet that we went through. I see Laura Jones, our Chief Financial Officer, is here. I want to commend her as well. It's a challenge to provide the services that people expect at the price they can afford, and that's probably one of the most important and challenging parts of the job is doing that. So I want to commend all those that had a role in doing, I think, having a very good budget at a price that we can all afford. The ongoing Youth Detention Center, commending, again, our COO, Kevin Barnhart, and our Deputy, Larry Medallia, with the work that they've done moving forward, making that a regional facility. Commissioner Rivera spoke about that, and I think it's really important that we've engaged other communities to work with us, Dauphin, Lackawanna, Lehigh, potentially others. We're working on that. But the first thing that I heard when I was elected right after the swearing in was our DA, and said we have to do something about serious youth crime in our community. These aren't the petty stuff. This is the serious crimes that are occurring in our community by our youth, and we need to make sure that our community is protected, and also make sure that we provide those young people with the services that they need, so that maybe they can turn their lives around. Election services, Michael spoke about that as well. As election board members, it's really important for us to take that job very seriously. It's the foundation of our democracy. I'll leave it at that. And just the overall responsibility that we have to provide the services to our residents. All our agency heads are great. They do a wonderful job. They provide services, just naming a few, to our seniors, to our veterans, mental health, developmental disability community. So I think that's really, really important, and continuing to provide those services that people expect. And my final slide deals with advocacy. As a former legislator, you've heard me say it many, many times, we need to work with all levels of government, state, federal partners. We have a partnership now with Merchant McIntyre, looking to help us with our federal legislators to provide opportunities for funding. maybe have a say in some legislation that's going down there, and they're going to be, I think, a great resource for us at the federal level. I'm working on doing the same thing at the state level. I serve on a subcommittee on the Election Reform Committee at County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. We are looking at election reform in a bipartisan way. There are 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans on the committee, and we've been having a number of meetings. We're going to have a proposal bringing forth sometime in the near future to the County Commission Association on election reform, specifically the area of early voting. And the final 2 issues, I know that the Chairman Leinbach has been leading on these, but I think it's really important to put these on my radar as well. Passenger rail is critical to our community and the forward movement of that, and also the development of the Reading Regional Airport. So those are my issues that I think are really important for the 2026 year. And I also want to thank our team. I want to thank our executive assistants for all the great work that they do, the leadership team, HR, legal, public relay, everybody. I don't want to forget anybody. I know politics 101, you don't start naming people in case you forget others, but I just really think that we're a good team. I think we're focused on getting stuff done. So, and I think we're all focused on what's best for the residents that we serve here in Berks County. So, Mr. Chairman, that's all I got.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Santoni. I'm going to jump right into my presentation. You'll notice each of us have some similar things, and we have different things. The future and getting there, 26 and beyond. I want to start with how we did, and this is my perspective. Fiscal responsibility, I think we did really well. No tax increase. We maintained our Moody's bond rating. That's important. We had a rating call in 2025. We've had the highest bond rating possible since March of 2019, and we're one of only 5% of counties in the country with that type of a rating. Number 2, last year, goal was Reading Regional Airport, A-. Again, we continue to see growth year over year, both financially and in aviation. We had hoped to build 2 hangars last year. That was delayed. Contracts were let for one of the hangars this past week, and I expect a second hangar to move forward, being done by one of the aviation tenants. Number 3, passenger rail. I gave that a B. The reason for a B primarily is we finished phase 1 of the Federal Rail Administration's quarter ID program really back in August, and it just feels like things have slowed down. I'm not complaining about the FRA, but I can tell you Montgomery, Chester, and Berks County are chomping at the bit to get into the second phase or step 2 of that process. We're told it will happen here in the first quarter of 26. Continuing, election integrity, I think we hit it out of the park. We, being our team, we delivered very, very good. The way the election was managed in both the primary and the general election were absolutely solid. Our election department did a great job, but many county employees also stepped up and worked for the election department on election day, both the primary and the general election. And when that happens, that builds voter confidence. Economic development, again, an A. If you look at, and I see we have Alex and Aaron here from the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance, you look at job retention, job growth, overall economic development in the county, it continues to be strong. Very, very positive relationship, contractual relationship with GRCA. County management, I'm looking this in the broad sense, our leadership team, not just the COO, but our leadership team of the COO team, commissioners, HR, and solicitor, really great team. We're doing a lot of different projects. I'll touch later where you can see a larger presentation of this online. Economic development, I said already, county management. Berks County Jail, B-. One of the things I set out at the beginning last year was to revisit the building of a new jail. That's not viable at the current time. The cost is just astronomical, and we are focusing on other things. Roads and bridges. Anybody that drives on the 422 bypass knows why this is a B plus. We really desperately need the 422 West Shore bypass improvements to move forward. But that's, and I believe, and I'm right on this, that's a $500 to $600 million price tag. It's extremely difficult because you have to build it and you can't shut it down and detour. There's no logical detour. So that project, completion of 222, those are concerns. But overall, bridges and a lot of the other projects have been very good. The Berks County Health Study, I gave it a C. We, as a group, have not really acted on the study. I will give credit to Commissioner Santoni. In 2025, he's taken up this issue, is working closely with healthcare professionals, with the Community Foundation, and I believe with our COO team on that. So looking forward, keep in mind, there are a lot of important things that we do, but if everything's a priority, then nothing's a priority. I've got two categories. My three long-term goals, 5 to 10 years, very simple. One, succession planning. In the next 5 to 10 years, Berks County is going to lose, Berks County government, about 60% of our management and elected officials, just based on statistical age, okay? And I'm one of them. 10 years, I will not be here as a county commissioner. I can tell you that. I'm just not going to be. So we want to focus on hiring the best possible department heads, deputies, and staff, constantly focused, because it's the people, it's our employees that make this county government run. It's not us. We have a role to play, but it's much more of a facilitator and having a vision and understanding the mission of the county. But it's the team, the entire team, that makes it happen. And then continue. Our HR department has done a great job building up training and support tools for all of our staff. Jess Weekneck is here. Thank you for continuing that commitment. It's important. The second of the three big is develop robust AI strategies for all of our departments. And it starts by implementing and enforcing ethics-driven AI policy. I cannot emphasize that enough. Technology is an interesting thing. It is agnostic. Technology in and of itself, like when I was growing up, TV got blamed for a lot of things. The TV is agnostic. It's how you use it that matters. AI is no different. It's very complicated, and we are already very close to establishing the policy side. 2, identify and implement AI-driven strategies to implement both internal and external operations. This has to do with community engagement, making it easier for the community to engage with the right people in the right department more easily, using tools like chatbots on the website, not cutting out the ability to get to a real person, but making it easier for people to get to the information or to the person they need to, using it internally to create efficiencies. But then on top of the ethics, defining clear rules that secure critical data and private information. That's an enormous issue with AI. Number 3, establish the Berksheim for the long term. 1, we need to ensure the long-term fiscal health of the Berksheim under county ownership. The great news here is we may be the only county with a county nursing home in the black. I've talked to a lot of counties. When I took office in 2008, there were roughly 35 to 40 counties in Pennsylvania with a nursing home. Today, there, I believe, are 11. Everyone that I know of that shut down because they were bleeding red ink and could not afford to continue. We need to focus on the long-term fiscal health. We've been in the black since before I've been here. 2, strive to be the best rated facility in the region. Ratings matter. I was just had my monthly meeting with our administrator, Josh Grove, and again, he brought it up. One of the simplest tests to pass in a nursing home, does anybody know what that is? When you walk in the door. It sounds crude, but it's a smell test. Anybody that spent any time in nursing homes know that's an issue. You walk into the Berks Heim, it is clean, it is neat. We have an amazing staff, and that's finally focus on long-term staffing stability. We have a stable staff right now. For the first time in several years since the pandemic, we are not using a temp agency to fill daily positions. They're only used the temp agency for emergency. That was not the case for the last several years, cost the county money. But even with that, we still remained in the black. So what are my overall goals for 2026? Don't panic. We're going through them fast. Number 1, fiscal responsibility, keeping the Moody's bond rating, working to make sure that there's no tax increase for 2027. Reading Regional Airport, I want to add at least one new significant aviation tenant, build at least 2 new hangars that we didn't do in 2025, hopefully get that done in 2026. And then overall, long-term goal is to be the #1 general aviation airport in Pennsylvania. If you're looking for a benchmark, as of a couple of years ago, PennDOT BOA, Board of Aviation, listed as number 12 in overall economic impact, about $72 million impact on the region, and almost every airport above us had commercial service. So we're in a strong position. Number 3, passenger rail. 2 big items here. 1, get into step 2 of the Corridor ID program. I believe that will happen hopefully in the first quarter, and then deal with what is a double-edged sword. That is the plan for Union Pacific, has announced plans to purchase Norfolk Southern. That creates opportunity, but it also creates risk. And all 3 counties through the Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority are trying to tackle the opportunity side of that right now. County management focusing on succession planning, working on developing AI policy, implement AI tools actively here in this year. I really want to see that implemented in a significant way in 2026. We probably are a couple weeks away from the policy implementation. We have a number of people that are on pilot programs utilizing Microsoft Copilot. And in my meeting with IS leadership yesterday, they're working on planning a training session with a number of people that are already part of the pilot program. Election integrity, got to keep focused on it. We did a great job in 2025, 2026. We have a governor's race, congressional races, all of the state house seats are up, and half of the PA Senate's up. Continuing our relationship with GRCA, economic development. We want to continue to see growth in retention of existing jobs. Saw an announcement yesterday. I wasn't happy. Frommouth, who's been here forever, is moving their operation from here, and I forgot the name of that state they're going to. What is it? Ohio, out of Pennsylvania. We're losing them out of Berks County. That's not good. But again, we deal with these things, and overall, we've continued to see growth, and we want to see that remain. Continue to focus on the Berks Heim. I've talked about that. Criminal justice reform. I'm very hopeful that we will get all of the agreements here in the first quarter from our partnering counties on the Youth Detention Center, noted, I believe, by Commissioner Santoni. This is for violent youth offenders only. This has nothing to do with youth offenders committing minor crimes. This is violent youth offenders. The alternatives that we have right now of Abraxas, unacceptable, ineffectual. nor is it effective to rely on places like Wayne County that are far from this area. Okay. And then finally, America 250 PA Berks. We got the FIFA mention. Philadelphia is going to be crazy city in June and July. I don't know if everybody's following, but you have FIFA. That's going to bring a ton of people. You have America 250, really the heart of America 250, the Liberty Bell, Independence Hall, the Declaration of Independence was written and signed at that location, Valley Forge Park, which was the site in 1976 of the national celebration. I remember I was there as a kid. And the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, I think right after 4th of July, is also going to be in Philadelphia. But we are going to have America 250. I'll talk about some of the things happening later. But in conclusion, these are my key objectives. There are other projects and issues that we are and will address. There's just no doubt about it. I see Peggy and Nikki here from Connections Works. They are the rock stars of evidence-based programming with our criminal justice system, with our jail. All three of us have been very committed to that. We appreciate their partnership. And that takes me to the final point. In the end, success doesn't come down to one player. It comes down to a team. Whether you're talking about sports, you're talking about a business, even sports like golf, start thinking about it. No, it doesn't come down to one golf player. When's the last time you heard of a golf player winning it all by themselves? A caddy, the support, the trainers. Our team is what makes the difference, and it's our internal and external. And so I want to thank you. I want to thank Veronica Lepore. She makes my office what it is. I really appreciate her support. I want to thank my colleagues. We don't always agree on issues, but that's not what our job is about. Our job is about doing the right thing, treating people with respect and courtesy, even when we disagree with them. And I can tell you, all three of us do that. And our executive assistants, the picture in the upper left-hand corner is from World War II weekend this last year. And I grabbed that picture. We ended up with Adriana, Michael's daughter, and her friend. But all three commissioners, Veronica Lepore, Lynn Burns, and Barbie Lopez, I can tell you these guys, they'd be worthless without their executive assistants, just like I would be. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for the opportunity to share this morning. I will be posting a longer version of this with a lot more detailed slides on my personal website, up on my social media, and Jonathan Heintzman, our PRO, will be posting on the county website, I believe, all three commissioners' reports. So that wasn't bad, actually. If you go 15, 15, and 15, that would be 45 minutes. We're at 10:48, and that includes our opening comments. So I think we did pretty well. What's the will of the board? Do you want me to go through the agenda, or do you want to?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as listed.
I'll second that.
The motion has been made and seconded to approve the agenda as listed. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried. We'll move now to reports of our treasurer and controller. We'll begin with our treasurer, Mitch Darcourt. Mitch.
Thank you, Commissioner. Today, we have an opening balance of $209,407,213.02. We have a balance to clear of $5,986,149.50. leaving us with a balance of $203,421,063.52. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now hear from our county controller, Joe Rutterow, with the controller's report. Joe.
Thank you, Chairman Lineback. For the week ending February 13th, 2026, we have a total accounts payable of $13,851,623.41. We have an employee payroll of $5,975,419.02. We have a tax collector payroll of $15,237.75 for a total cash disbursement of $19,842,280.18. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joe. Moving to our Chief Operations Officer, Kevin Barnhart.
Thank you, Commissioner Linebacker. Our team has nothing to offer at the present time. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we'll go back to the commissioners to talk some more.
Yep.
Commissioner Rivera.
No additional comments from me.
The only thing I'll report on is we did have a town hall last night and it was, as I said in my comments, in my earlier comments, I thought it was well. I thought we learned a lot. We heard from the constituents and the concern they have for the facility out in Upper Burn Township. And we all committed to making sure that we get as much information as we can out to our residents as possible. And we will commit to doing that. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. I also want to make a brief comment. Last night's town hall was the most unusual town hall that I've participated in over the last number of years. Normally, and I shared this with the folks there, normally our town halls 10, maybe the most 20,
Yep.
20 people or so. I didn't count the people. Jonathan, did you count the people? I didn't count. I don't know if Christine did.
There were 80 chairs put out initially and then more were
And they
brought
put more
so
out
90
and
to
there were still
100.
people standing in the back. So probably 100, the room held 150, but I don't think, I think it was probably closer to 100. I want to thank the three people in particular, Jonathan Heintzman, our public relations officer, Christy Brown, who attends all of our town hall meetings. She is the assistant director of the Berks County Library System. The Berks County Library System actually pulls together the locations every year for our town halls and the dates, coordinates with all the libraries. And so this date was set, and we explained to people, a lot of people thought this was a special meeting for the warehouse. This date was set back in either the end of November or December. I personally think that without Christine, and Jonathan's help last night, the outcome would have been different. And I want to specifically call out Christine Sadler. There's a lot of frustration in the audience. The audience, at least the people that spoke, were all opposed to the ICE facility. That's not necessarily a statistical fact that everybody opposes it, but the people that were there and that spoke all opposed it. And one of the things that came up was, what can you do to help Upper Burn? And we shared that Christine, immediately when we found this out, had reached out to their solicitor, has had some conversations with their solicitor. We noted that the planning commission, our planning department, has been involved with support. We can't tell them what to do. That's the way things are set up in Pennsylvania. And then I suggested that because they were concerned for the safety of the supervisors, that I was willing to reach out to Sheriff Mandy Miller and ask her if she could provide some deputy sheriffs for their public meetings. And Christine was thinking sharper than I was, and I guess walked up behind me and said, "Do you have a problem if I call Sheriff Miller right now?" And I assume she asked the other commissioners as well. She went and called the sheriff, got a hold of Sheriff Miller. Sheriff Miller said, "I'll have at least 2 sheriff's deputies at that meeting. I have to assume, I know Sheriff Miller, she's good to her word, but I wouldn't have thought of that. And we wouldn't have had most likely would not have had sheriff's deputies there. So Christine, thank you. I know it was a thankless job. She really, I think she was glad that she didn't have to say anything, but she was there the entire evening. Some of us left, I left a little bit after 9 o'clock. And that is the essence of governance. It's not all about elected officials sitting in some office here on the 13th floor telling people what to do. You can't represent a county if you don't get out in the county and listen to what people have to say. We've been committed to doing that. We'll continue to commit to do that, and leave it at that. But again, I explained this, but our town halls, it's just the three of us. This is the first time that we've done a town hall. I think even before Dante was here, we've never brought staff along with us. We asked them to come because we thought we might need their help. And I think we needed it more than we realized. Jonathan took responsibility of saying who was next, and handing out the microphone, which Hannah from Spotlight, who's here, knows that was not an easy job for him to do, but no one booed him. He did the best he could to get folks. And I think everyone that wanted to say something was able to speak. We did not end the meeting at 8 o'clock as we always do. We ended it when people were done speaking and a bulk of them had left at that point. So that's all that I have. Any comments from our row officers?
I do not have anything to add.
Just quickly, just wanted to update the board. Our accounting team is currently working on gathering the information for the annual comprehensive financial report. We appreciate all the help of the department heads and those fiscal officers to continue with that flow of information so that we can get that prepared and filed by its deadline of July 1st. Also, our auditing team is hard at work on their tax collector audits. And lastly, our accounts payable manager, Carol Pullitz, who's here, right here, is working on our paper check to ACH program, which we are making progress in trying to help the county reduce the number of paper checks. And so we'll be introducing more to the board as well as the department heads as we progress on that. So that's all I have. Just wanted to share with the board.
Yeah, paper checks should have gone away a long time ago, but in the private sector, there are very few bills I pay anymore with a paper check. And they probably cost more in many cases than what they're worth. So I give you an example. I was at my dentist. My dentist he said, you got to see, I got a reimbursement from United Concordia. Some of us know who that is. He said, how much do you think it was for? He got a check for a penny. He said, I wonder if I took it to the bank, if they have any pennies to even, but he said, I refused to even take it to a bank. Can you imagine cashing a check for a penny? That was pretty insane.
Well, the other part too is that there's a lot of bad actors out there and the fraud.
Checks are easy.
Yeah. So we're on it. We're working on it. It takes a little bit of time. Carol's still kind of getting acclimated, but we are making progress towards that. So thank you.
Congratulations. Nothing additional. Okay. Yep. So anything, Matt?
Our January numbers are just about complete, but we had 347 deaths in the county this year so far in January. 3 of them are attributed to exposure for January. We do have 12 cases that are currently pending. One of the trends we're closely following, concerning trend, is our suicides in the county right now, January and February so far, which are exceeded last year's numbers. Been sharing that data with Office of Aging, Adult Mental Health, and Berks County Mental Health. Because we're seeing that about half are senior citizens. So we're tracking that, and we're working along with other departments to see if there's something else we can do about that.
Are you able to tell if any of them are veterans?
We do. We will have that when those files.
Because last year, veteran suicides in Berks County were up dramatically, like 16, 20, it was 25% of the total number of suicides were veterans. And
I'll have
that's
those numbers for you.
really rough. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Why don't you go ahead, so I don't forget, make the announcement on election board?
Yeah, today there is no election board meeting at 11, but there will be one next Thursday.
So public comment, we have one in person, and I'll check online here in a minute. I think it's Redera McClendon, Reading, PA, topic youth violence. If you could just introduce yourself, where you're from, and you have 3 minutes. Our clerk will time.
Good morning. My name is Radara and I live in Reading, and I'm a violence prevention professional who has served the youth of this community for over 20 years. Commissioner Rivera, you may remember hearing about my work during the South Mountain YMCA tour and the efforts to bring city youth into their space. Solicitor Sadler, you may remember me from years ago caring for your children.
Got it.
My commitment to this community has been consistent, personal, and rooted in relationship. In the neighborhood, young people know me as Auntie. That name represents trust. And today, many are speaking about enforcement and over-policing, and respectfully, youth in the city of Reading have felt over-policed and system involved for years. When young people feel criminalized instead of supported, they don't run towards institutions. They run towards people they trust. That is why they come to me first. Before probation, before court, before crisis escalates, while I appreciate the outrage many are expressing about ICE and the broader injustices we see nationally, we cannot treat those issues as isolated incidents. Systems of harm do not begin at the border or in headlines. They begin locally in policies and underinvestment and in the absence of safe, affirming spaces for young people. If we are going to speak about injustice, we must also speak about prevention. We must speak about safer spaces. While the county funds large institutions and organizations, and that has its place, grassroots leaders like myself are often the first line of prevention. Yet we are underfunded and overlooked. And even though we are the glue holding communities together, right now we are operating out of the former Jewish Community Center on North 5th Street. And I want you to picture that building when it was alive. Basketballs echoing the gym, youth programming after school, a structured and safe place, filled with energy. That building once represented opportunity. We can restore that and expand it into a holistic healing center for youth. Mentorship, violence prevention, emotional wellness, life skills, and even a rooftop garden that symbolizes growth and renewal. Safer spaces are not a luxury, they are infrastructure, they are prevention, they are how we interrupt cycles before young people ever touch the court system. If we are serious about reducing youth violence and system involvement, we must invest upstream in trusted spaces before crisis. The community is behind this work, the youth are behind this work, and now I'm asking the county to stand with us and invest in what is already holding this community together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, online, we have Jane Palmer from Why I'm Missing. Where are your metrics, Commissioner Rivera? None of your priorities have actual benchmarks attached. Continued improvement and election integrity have no meaning without specific goals. And then Andrew Klein from Alsace Township. As I shared with the commissioners last year, the Berks County Youth Basketball League will be hosting its end of season playoff tournament from February 27th through March 1st, with all games being played at Conrad Weiser High School and Middle School. Unfortunately, this year I will be traveling for work during the tournament. BCYBL is in its 10th season in its current format, but has a long history of providing youth basketball access in Berks County. This year, the league is its largest it's ever been, with exactly 100 teams and an expanded reach to neighboring counties. My information is available at bcybl.com. If somebody from IS can post that up, bcybl.com, then people listening can or watching can see that as well as a link. He also provides an email address. That's bcybl.info@gmail.com. Thank you. And that completes our public comment. Any comment from my colleagues?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment. Just Dane, thank you for your comment. Fortunately, there's only a certain amount of things you can say within 15 minutes, so I'm sorry I did not meet your expectations. Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
meeting stands adjourned.